Hello and welcome, UnderAchievers. Today's video we're going to be looking at the Knool Camp, mainly the first room, how to find the Knool Camp, and basically how to reset your fog. And then we're going to clear the first room of the Knool Camp in this particular region to show you how to handle the first types of Knool mobs. So right now, as you can see, we are in Knool Camp. This is a structure that doesn't have any surrounding buildings, so people cannot build here. You can spot it by the smoke in the sky. You can see it from miles away. Right now, the Knool Camp is part of a Feudal Mayhem, which is an event by the devs. And in this event, you can gain alcohol, gain with it boost your combat XP gain. You also get some skins. So that's a really cool way and a really cool event. And a good way to do it is Knool. So you need 100 points per day. Each Knool gives you 10, and a chieftain gives you 50. So you just need to do 2 chieftains and you get the 100. So right now we're going to show you how to avoid the fog. So basically going in and out of the zone, you can press Ctrl F4. In this case I didn't, but to see where the Knool Camp ends. In this case we have a little base right at the edge. So right now you see the game is really foggy because in the Knool Camp you do get this fog, but you can get an advantage over both the Knools and potentially gankers or bandits that try to come kill you. And this you can do by going in and out of the zone. And you see that the sky is clear a bit, and then when I go in now, the whole fog is kind of clear, so you can spot enemies before they even spot you. It's a little neat trick and a little tip for you to use in your Knool killing. As we call this the PvKnool, so player versus Knools, we're going to be diving into the first room right now. So in the first room, you have 3 melee Knools, and then you have 1 Knool Ranger. Those are the first types of Knools you usually encounter. So the melee Knools, they're kind of easy to do. So you stand in this spot, and you basically drag just the melee. So we're going to handle the 3 melee first, and then we're going to handle the ranger. So by standing in that campfire, you basically just hit one. So this melee, they don't do a lot of attack, but a lot of damage, but they have in one particular attack, so that when they raise the axe to the sky, that does a bit of damage. You can take a little bit of damage, it's a little bit blunt, it's not a problem. In this case I use the boar spear on my cavalier. You can do this with berserker, with ranger, but I'll just show you with this one, and later on if there's more requests I'll do with the other classes and show you how to do the clear with the other classes. There are ways to do it safely, but in this case you can see the 3 melee Knools will come for you. Sometimes you just pull 2, sometimes you pull 3 from that particular angle. There is different ways to do it. But what you want to be doing is just dishing out damage, and you'll realize that the Knools will try to bury. So as soon as you do 90 to 95% of the Knool damage, basically the Knool will try to bury and try to reset. In this particular case, you'll see that uh, one of them actually managed to get to bury before I actually was able to smack him. So the boar spear I do recommend actually coming naked. Coming naked, you basically are much faster than the Knools in a sense. So it's really just keep backpedaling and swinging your boar spear forward. So you can see there I'm dishing out the damage to the 3 Knools separately. You can focus on one, but it will be as you will prefer it. So in the sense of like this one tries to bury right now, and what happens is they will go back to his spawn spot and it will reset basically. So that's a bit of waste of time, but now I only have 2 to deal with, so it's a little bit easier. So what I do here is basically just keep focusing those 2, kill them, and I go pull the 3rd one. So in this case you see here, it's much easier to control the aggro, you don't have to run as much, so that one run. So I save my stamina and then I use it to spear the Knool that is bearing once or twice. So there we go, first Knool kill. It drops the loot in a bag. Your luck does influence it, so be sure to use good luck stuff. This one is also almost dead, so we basically just had to poke him once, and then when he was going to bury, we just got him. So right now, don't forget, loot your bags. You can control click stuff from the Knool's body, so open both inventories, control left click, and the stuff moves to your inventory, right? So let's go kill that other melee Knool that managed to get buried. This bury mechanic only occurs with melee Knools. All the other types of Knools, they will fight until death, either yours or theirs. So let's go get him, and then we'll deal with the ranger. And that will be all for today's video. So let's go to the same spot, little campfire, like you see the campfire. You can hug this part, and the Knool will come at you without aggroing the ranger. But as soon as he pops out, there he is. So right now we're just handling him. with most Knools, especially the ones that have melee attacks, you can take a little back step forward, go in, smoke them. But the only tricky part is that some of them that have range attacks will switch to range as soon as you get a certain distance. But the melees are really good to practice that. So you go in, you weave in and out of their attack range. They will start the attack animation. You take a step back, and then you go in and you smack them. It's easier to handle them one by one than the tree because then you'll have different Knools attacking at the same time. So obviously it makes it a little bit more tricky. So now to handle the Knool Ranger with the Spearman or anti-cav, what we have been doing lately is pretty much uh, get him to this campfire, so the spot that we were in before. So like let's aggro the ranger, move him back. So to move the ranger back, you need to go behind this tree. So there's the campfire, and there is a little tree behind it. And if you go behind this little tree, the ranger will try to come to you at melee range. So we're trying to pull him outside. So right now he's shooting. So we go close to the palisade to bait him out for him to come pop out. So now that he's kind of out of the gates, we took a little bit of damage there. But without that he's out of the gate, we're gonna basically pull him to this little campfire, and then behind the tree, and standing behind the tree will make him come even a little bit further. So we want him by the campfire. I'll show you in a second. This is easier with the long pike, but with the medium pike is also doable. So there he is. So he's kind of in the right spot. So now we want to pull our pike, and we're going to do overhead attack. So right there with the long pike you could do it. But in this case, we only have a medium pike, so I'll have to do it. I'll have to pull him a little bit closer to me. So if you take one step forward, you see that he will start running to me. See, he'll come a little bit closer. Sometimes he'll run, but he will not attack you. So you just have to find that perfect spot there. So yep, almost there. Almost there. If he does reset or like try to do something funky, you just basically go back to that tree on the left side that we were before. Like it's 1 meter away from this campfire, and you can just poke him, until he's done. This Knool's damage has been a bit reduced with some recent patches. But you can do it melee, so you can even and out. But the problem is, like, as soon as you take 2 steps back, he'll go back to his bow, and his bow does some damage, as you seen earlier. So you really want to find ways to do this Knool safely. If you were at a bow and an arrow or a crossbow, I do prefer bow and arrow to crossbows because of obviously the speed of shooting. You could be doing this Knool without having even aggroing him. You could stand like a little bit more outside and just shoot him, and he will not shoot you back because you'll be outside of his aggro area. But with melee weapons, you do have to become tricky with it. Some people like to do it like just block the shots with a tree or with a campfire, and then go weave in and out to swing at him. You can also do the same attack animation like for that the other Knools have, but you have to be really close to him, so you cannot take too much steps back when you're weaving out, otherwise you're going to switch to the bow, so be careful with that. And if you want to do it with a spear, yeah, just pull him to this little campfire with that little trick with the tree on the left side, and poke him with your spear. This Knool does take blunt damage more often than more blunt damage than slashing damage or chopping. But I mean, if it's safe, you can do it. Just you can also do this at the same time as your mates are killing the 3 melees, for example. So if there is one mate killing the 3 melees, you can come and start clearing this ranger, and you'll handle the rest, right? And as soon as you find the correct angle, like with the long pike, it's much easier. Like I'm doing it medium pike, but this gentleman doesn't have the 90 skill to use the long one. So right now I just poking away, and he's almost dead. Stay tuned for the next few videos about PvKnooling, and have a good day, UnderAchievers, and safe hunting. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.